the original 15 is brought back in at right half forward. The side features the return of James McCarthy, who replaces his club mate Philly McMahon. Brian Cullen is also recalled, and Kevin O'Brien starts at right corner back. Stephen O'Neill is out of the Tyrone team. He's been injured in the warm-up and won't start. Conor McAlliskey takes his place. It's a serious blow to Tyrone, but they are able to welcome back Joe and Justin McMahon along with Paddy McNeese. Michael Darragh Macaulay runs straight into Sean Kavanagh. Now it's James McCarthy. Loves to get forward and will do so at every opportunity. Joe McMahon there with him, Paul Mannion, he's been a star of this campaign. Keane O'Sullivan, they could be in here, and O'Sullivan's dragged it wide. A long way wide from Keane O'Sullivan. Should have at least drawn a save out of Niall Morgan in the Tyrone goal. This had goal written all over it. Nice move. Cathal McCarron perhaps just distracted Keane O'Sullivan. Here come Tyrone. Plenty of pace in both of these teams. Mark Donnelly, and now it's Sean Kavanagh bursting through. Kavanagh with Tyrone's first point. They draw level in the 5th minute. Lightning attack from Tyrone. Could have conceded a goal down at the other end, but they're level thanks to Sean Kavanagh, his 16th point of this campaign.
Well, Batoon to get Karen, I guess. Well, Rushvig Galord, you did. Council could have Harsh addressed now and get Brogan. Fedra started on goal. Skrif to Fege Shin, I guess Harsh addressed on. Fair and a good tour for Ronnie.
Yeah, and we have to get in Cade or which iteration, a Lero, I guess, on a creek on her and Traston, that the Kuig made her a mach on fork, I guess, Tyrone and Traston, and quit and Lero, they blackly, I guess, Tiltaku Veko and 3 cooling couldn't take a start to show.
Berto Hero, and now Dinaka, like I said, text Lacheri. 40 and son, I guess, fact to Michael Darragh Macaulay in ish, Jack McCaffrey, Clehan, Achlesh TikTok Conley, I guess I should tomorrow, Darish at Raston, the row on Da Everton again. Counson, the hood fest macht, McMahon, Schulter Techamas, the Dossa, Fachten Sage, Danley, I guess McCaffrey, Kurach, Gumahan, son again, I guess I'd pass, Kurach, Shine, chance again, McKilliski, top Peter Fachtige, Berger, Shekat, get cool right.
Yeah, well, Cod Mariala and Pasha, no, Mark Donnelly and Shin, who she heard Jack McCaffrey race on the bug and Shin, nor a Vishi con Duncan Taliban Shin, Hashem pass a Makazi McCalliskey, because Bachor is Stoker and leaned on a Vulo, O Shin, but she saw the Galorlish and Puincha gone out.
Colin Kavanagh, Traston subs, Fachtigan Grahar, Rahi Tacht, Shasha. Matty Donnelly nish, Hokru Hennig, I guess Paint Donnelly Assenson, McQuavan, I guess Donnelly after her.
Yeah, the Sean
Cluxton Arish, I guess Fair Point to Machige, Elena Horum, Brian Cullen, if he owned it, Michael Darragh Macaulay, Nisa Heich and Keane, Derry here in the cooler here, Takaha Heich and Klesh, Umper Gahaling, Paddy Andrews and Son of Spas, Rahu, Traston Suggery Wheelinish, Yannick Yatogi Geshin, Traston Huil, Niall Morgan. Ja, de gedierig kan hij is toch gevaar lo Cluxton is gedaan voor de sterkste goal zo. Wordt te gaan Morgan en is een fragment kaart. Was te gebeur. Agus Tusbacher agus kan hij naber.
Ja, but we should simulation to Niall Morgan.
Shemanian Hane Hawkig in Council. Vergil Mochot en de Krokig. Vernaar worden 15 is vehen nurig. Nur de woord krijgt naar heren wie dekkertige aardig raadje de worden shin. Kocht de sterke Brian Cullen, direct lastig dan goile. Agus Paint aan de eerste recht.
Wat de McConley. Brak on product there, Cos Clay no Cos Yashnak Harn.
Martin Bernard Brogan recht, dus dan ga ik maar geen dekkracht van zeggen.
Nach Nietzsche Brandon Robert de McConley, Nietzsche Bugger Roma en Buckenchen.
Is je maar lesje breger Johnson ta. Kom aan de barstier en zo hem lekker veel lager. Achter kom aan de Master Michael Darragh Macaulay. Roar Gunninge, legger maar mee. Dat is Quinton Colin Kavanagh. Schulter technisch hier niet. McCalliskey, ach niet licht in de wijn. Lastig de Johnny Cooper. Maar Golo drachtje aan de vaste vat. Agus eerder goed Peter zeggen. Agus vaste vat again onder die Kavanagh. A goal breacher goes off all.
Yeah, Shidder House are fad vi Cherpen and Nira Jebber and Tanulish and Kanchin Traston Cool me all Sean Cavan and Nachra Shenani Shinakar Jack Saline Tan Marjaitic Shape Creaky and Tokak Agus ganzi agus feol a géile feol agus sin hála rísan sin.
Martin Penrose marsin lishin Gixersa. Hit scored get Tyrone. Oh no, Tarnacown. Count again Niall Morgan on Gixer Rimishak. Nach Fargan Chenish and Fin Javani during the four now. James McCarthy at half fighter. Mark Donnelly Lauren the Hood at Gergale Thousandson. Nish. Tyrone attacked na horse Sean Kavanagh. Had in the Vuchli here on Gorta and Dave Holden Bark. A hidden darling, Butchik Margie McNeese. Mark Donnelly reached the Galu, or Lancashire in the Gussentori. Kavanagh Schultz Stachelson, Cooper, a Shas of an Oid. Agus Coward again, and son of Ryan Cole. You can't see Paddy Andrews. Agus Sean Kavanagh, a Hawkig on Kixershaw. Diele gelegen goede mag agus Bouten van Loos mag ik klaar de armoedig en pas me he sa vrager Michael Darren McCauley aan de Jonner Fad stak Crane diere gedrag Whelan Sarah again Morgan PJ Quinn Mannion gewoon nemen door een zakker die ik een koeien barg de lientaan of te mag achttien een puntje genomen.
Ja, een toch een leer dus Jack me Capagro Jason Whelan de glorious clash Shockus Pager Giro en cool Biogan in East Luha agus nor Hashe vi Niall Morgan. Hier is er gewoon een stop shin again of on a fastest Shockus Stokegram cool and shin Pager Cooper second River Hogue shade erupt. Of Genta go mahig Paul Mannion her and Traston can score all him shoe.
Wel voor ze cool ontglennig het ook kunnen voor Morgan en son a chance van Oud gema de hero in Prishnos go halen get Joe McMahon fachten zo get Danley nish Berta Jechentlesh Brian Culner Rinneker Danley put it John Gould sorry get Cloxton Shen zo naar eigenlijk dat met Conley en Gummer go check Kerkelore reached Sa among Allianz ag idir an Dali Conor Gormley a gháil chan cín gan ainge a techt chuige a chuiristeach ná machir agus peinte maith gan Shannon Dúr.
Yeah, score ma Conor Gormley ac Arish ni rain imra bresan sin con Carol in a Costantori.
Peinte roiv. Is Dertling will Nicky Hart a golavú agus tá Aru or Yenna Vigenu big fake on second Dermot Carroll and Dertling a Vega Fogant a Hedron Darling Paul Mannion in Anna here Godot ach Shofar will Anna Vanina Father Gas Heinig agus painted and score.
Yeah, Shinner so Paul Mannion Neil Mora Neki Agino Paul Mannion Gaji Sussex Cleach Machante Feina Euro Feina Glock agus Haran Traston and Tom Shin Shin on TV
Da Villa Short Stach again come on of Ahad Gownson go hard go Halliente agus go Green. Home coach of Gorta Fachten saw again Donnelly Jason Whelan did get shoot the stop of Aidan Cassidy Testing Tussie Wigshe McCalliskey and Fairtown agus Sunkin Bug Fachten get shoot agus a Volan son ach fich shin now the being Ray no knowledge of Vol Chelia Kocha shin ach Anna Feint agus Tommy Gubberhub.
Yeah, and Darrachan on Emerton McCalliskey Stoker Raven Clay Margerter let look Neil Stephen O'Neill contustu to Dulles Jackson Clay on job Kenny and if Buctini well his job more Shin ach Shasta Sus Gomoric McCalliskey go score I'm agus go hin to quad Tyrone Gaji Shos Sickle Ham Shin
agus Tom Coolboard Taka Henis Rota Avonella Shortestach Godasseries to get clocks now Jechent agus in roid gháil as a hiún stachan sin seeking the fin.
Se kon búil a gunne clegan má bhí se kon an léir a bhúcan dar churbe.
Mar sin Paul Mannion á féintige Mannion sa chiad le an dáich an cá ón immert. Agus Marty Duffy ráile Joe McMahon fnacht glanda agus deis cearta húrta. An ile fiosathe begáiní beag aige ach tá pointe na báil. Sean Kavanagh but to trust the chóir le hénig ige Kavanagh McCaffrey le direct techtaisteach san sin chomh átanis gúil an talamh géilte get Tyrone in aige gúil féinnig amach sin ráte seach an Matty Donnelly Susan Zogri McCalliskey, Taishele Cordic, Johnny Cooper, Titich on Tyrone, no Cosa Tukaleshika McCalliskey, Trusted Who Tom McNeese, Tom McCalliskey starts to paint, seeking again McCalliskey, August Nabroga, Ali in the rest soon to Mahagan.
Well, the Jugnock Galo cool, Rivishin, Druck fast, Rasnum cool, Tog, Tyrone, Irelo, Hakta Maklish, and Lira, Kamayaler Shin, Matty Donnelly, Susan Parker, a right with McCalliskey.
Hello, Agatha Ryan Brogan and Telev, better because of Alacher. Marty Duffy saws the leg and Clashin, but Unilla Fawcett here. We get Plunkett Kane. Shin seeking in ish. Paul Mannion Bader, deal shit that's about to saw Mannion Lishon pointed Dassels on Quarter Stach. Mannion, August McCalliskey, Berto Garnoch, Edolavai Mugahagansa.
Achwyd over and Chin Black Lake on the Lyra de Voke and the Rash. Pass Maho Dear McConnelly Conacher, Rash Quick Mannion, Cossin Chase, Jacker Cosias Conacher, her and Trastanach. Anachwyd over a foot in the park home golf.
Russian touch, seeking fight again. She's shaking Diego Father Gahmasar. Tasha Phoenix Osta, a Rome Opagalishin, Sora Spontus, a Machsama.
Hurt.
Ashter Honey, Joe McManus, Lloyd, James McCarthy, and Son Chef Fleeps and Ochta. Agus Herring Shane Gansi, Homakiana, Bernard Brogan, Lefragra, the sort of Laclia, Agus Coram.
Here comes Sean Kavanagh for Tyrone now. Mark Donnelly is available. Conor McCalliskey has got away from Johnny Cooper, but Martin Penrose, great turn from Penrose. They could be in here, and that's gone over the bar from Mark Donnelly. What a turn from Martin Penrose to get away from the Dublin defender. Dancing feet from Martin Penrose, and Tyrone leading by 14 points to 13. Mark Donnelly of Tyrone. Donnelly been dragged back by Dean Rock. Free in for Tyrone. And Niall Morgan will be given another chance to do his stuff for Tyrone. Mickey Hart having a chat with Conor McCalliskey. The wind is getting a little stronger. There's Bernard Brogan sitting with the rest of the Dublin substitutes. 21-year-old Niall Morgan, 4 out of 14 points he's kicked for Tyrone. He's looking anxiously after that one, but he needn't worry. Brilliant from Niall Morgan, and Tyrone go in front. They've been the team forcing the issue since the match restarted, and they lead by 15 points to 14. Here comes Ger Brennan. Dublin have had to play catch-up all the way through the second half. Tyrone have been going in front, Dublin have been drawing level, but there's never been more than a point between them. 8 times we've been level. There is the possibility, in the event of a draw, of extra time. Kevin McManaman. Conor Clark in front of it. McManaman goes back for help from Paddy Andrews. Dean Rock is available. Here goes Rock, got it back from James McCarthy. Dean Rock, brilliant point. Very fine score from Dean Rock. Space is at a premium in there. Some quick passing from Andrews and McCarthy, and back to Dean Rock, and that Ballymun 1-2 brought the equaliser. 16 each, just over 3 minutes to go. 16 apiece in the Division 1 League final. Darren Daly. Time for one last attack. Philly McMahon. Shane Carthy. Kevin McManaman couldn't hang on to it. Dived on the ball though. It was great play from Kevin McManaman, and got up to his feet as well. Here's Dean Rock, got the equaliser not so long ago. That's very high, and it's gone over the bar. Dean Rock. Stunning score from Dean Rock. It seemed to hang up there for ages, and Dublin go in front. They lead for the first time in the second half. 17 points to 16. We're in the last minute of the 70. Here's Jack McCaffrey. Dublin lead by a point. McCaffrey bursting through. McCaffrey! Over the bar. Tipped over by Niall Morgan. But Dublin have a 2-point lead. I think he was caught in two minds as to what to do with this. Slot it over or go for the goal. Morgan couldn't take the chance. Dublin lead by 2. And now we're playing that one added minute. Here come Tyrone. They need a goal. Matty Donnelly. Dublin have only conceded 5 goals in this league campaign. Sean Kavanagh for Tyrone goes for the point and gets it. So back to within 1. Tyrone still have time. They need possession from Cluxton's kick-out. They need possession from here. The 1 minute of added time almost up, and Cluxton has kicked it straight out over the line. The 1 minute is just about gone. Conor Clark goes sideways. Will the referee allow Tyrone one last attack when they've lost the ball? There's no foul there. The 1 minute is up. James McCarthy gone down injured, and there is the whistle for full time. What a gripping second half. In total, the sides level 9 times. But it's Dublin who win the league title for the first time in 20 years, beating Tyrone by 18 points to 17. Dublin are Allianz Football League champions for 2013.
We have 9 real competitive games in the National League, and some of them haven't gone down to the wire, and it's a good test for us now going into the championship with 5 weeks to go to be put to the pin of our collar, as you say, and to see what reaction we get from the squad. So no matter what way the result went, we were just interested to see that, and we knew that we were going to get a real tough game from Tyrone, so we're happy with the result.
Well, that was a game that people were looking forward.
O'Conde heroin sin Niall Morgan. August Brendan Murphy and Shahar Khan Allianz Leshin Gradam of Runner. Niall, I know this is absolutely no consolation to you, but what was it like to be out there playing for Tyrone in an Allianz League final today?
It was absolutely excellent. I suppose that's as far as we could have got this year so far, and it was unfortunate we just came up a wee bit short in the end.
The teams were tied together at half-time. I think 5 times in the second half you were level again. It was going to come down to one kick. Ahead now of a championship campaign, how disappointed are you?
Oh, we're very disappointed, but at the end of the day, we got the final of the Allianz League, and we're here for a reason, I suppose. And to push Dublin to 1 point and it to be so late in the game, we're happy enough going into Donegal.
You had to do it with the unexpected Stephen O'Neill's injury in the warm-up. Must have knocked the team back a little bit heading out onto the field, did it?
Absolutely. It just happened 5 minutes before we went out, and it was unfortunate that it did happen, but these things do happen, and Conor came in and he played absolutely brilliant too.
The league has been good to you though, coming up from Division 2 last year up to Division 1, qualifying for the final. Optimistic now for the game against Donegal in a month's time?
Well, I suppose coming up from Division 2, everybody was just saying to us that we had to retain our status in the Allianz League Division 1, and I suppose doing that there, we're happy enough, and we can just push forward from now.
Gurmagat Niall Cogordagus.
Sha agla mahagin loch nu an son erin heroin. Tá an corna brunna over Niall Mata. Agus Stephen Cluxton and Coolbarde Faravilana Vascador and so Sachar agus Gedain Fen Ford na Tire agus shoot from Corn.
And you Kuntaku the Tyrone agus Auckland.
Bradley here with me in studio. Pat, it was point for point pretty much all day long, but of course in the end that important point to Dublin.
Yeah, it was by far the best game in this year's Division 1 of the National League, which has been a disappointing campaign. This game today was played at championship intensity and championship pace, and in a way both teams would have been happy. I mean, Tyrone played without their star forward Stephen O'Neill and could have won the game. Everything that's good about Tyrone football at their best was there today, the counter-attacking, the pace and particularly their defensive system. Dublin will be particularly happy. They won without 3 stalwarts, Paul Flynn, Rory O'Carroll and possibly Alan Brogan. Bernard Brogan, their star player, was taken off, playing badly. They lost Michael Dara McCauley, who was having a blinder midfield. And they won playing badly. But what they showed was this was the first time they were put under pressure all year long. And they showed great character, great composure. They came from behind. And like I said, when a team wins playing badly, it's a good sign. But it augurs well for both teams for this year's championship, Michael.
It was played at championship pace, as Pat said, because both of them wanted to win this trophy.
Well, Tyrone have been the closest team to Donegal in the last 2 years, and their blanket defence is now perfected. I mean, the tackling was brilliant, it was claustrophobic. I mean, if you didn't win that ball cleanly first day, there was a fist always at your ear. You know, at no stage was a man able to settle on the ball. And although at the start you felt, and the atmosphere was abroad in the stadium, Dubs are going to pounce at any moment now, Tyrone dispelled that very, very quickly. And it reminded me very much of, I mean, there's a real reason why they've brought in Niall Morgan. I mean, he's a brilliant long-range free taker, and now they deploy him in the same way as England deployed Johnny Wilkinson in the Rugby World Cup winning year. I mean, Tyrone play in numbers in their defence, They don't commit many men forward. They're winning frees around that midfield area, and they know they've got a sort of a combination of Bruce Grobbelaar and Brian Sheehan coming out to nail those frees. I mean, he scored 5 frees today, and that's been typical of his year. And they're going to be extremely difficult to beat, because all of this really is planning for Donegal. I mean, as Pat says, today is not about today's result for Tyrone. It was about going out and readying themselves for the bigger challenge in a month's time.
But in the end, this game was won through a couple of points from play. It's always nice, Pat, to see the son of a great player coming through and making his mark in the team. Dean Rock did that today for Dublin.
Well, it's the mark of what kind of a manager Jim Gavin is. He made a big call, taking off his best forward and bringing on Dean Rock. And what Dean Rock can bring to the team, he's like his father, he's an absolutely brilliant kicker of the ball. And this was a difficult, there was 4 fellas around him. But watch also, when you see this ball going over, look at the pressure and look at the amount of Tyrone players that were in their own half. There was only one Tyrone player, that's Kyle Coney, up at the other end of the field. And I think Kevin McMinimum coming on as well made a difference, because watch here in this case, McMinimum ran at the Tyrone defence, drew a couple of fellas. And again, look, that's from 35 to 40 metres out, under pressure. The bottom line is, while I understand and I agree with Joe about the effectiveness of the blanket system, but if you can get a guy who can kick balls high over the bar from 35 to 45 metres, as Dean Rock did there, well, then the blanket ain't that effective.
Let me come back, Joe.
Pat, those were brilliant scores.
They were good scores. But let me come back to a couple of other scores. You spoke about Niall Morgan, the Tyrone goalkeeper, a minute ago. I'm fascinated by your take on this. So not just coming up to take the frees, but the role he plays in the team.
He's a very strategic, a very important role. I mean, they've played Donegal the last 2 years. Their big problem has been that because Donegal's blanket defence is the best in the country, Tyrone have been unable to penetrate that. They've been able to hold Donegal well, and the games have been very close, but Donegal have more scoring power. What Tyrone are doing this year, and you've seen it in their games, they've got a fellow who's scoring 4 or 5 long-range frees. Statistically, he's the most accurate free taker in the league. He's the best long-range free taker in the league. He's got marvellous temperament. And today, you know, you saw he scored 5 points. The other thing about him is this, of course. He's a brilliant charisma on the field. I mean, today, it got to the stage where when Tyrone were awarded a free 60 metres out, the crowd, there was a ripple of amusement through the crowd to see him come. And, you know, it was like a fairground attraction. And I thought it was, you know, it was most definitely the most entertaining aspect of the game. That aside, there's no doubt that Tyrone are now ready for Donegal, whereas I would have thought last year and the year before they're not. I'm not saying they'll beat them, but I'm saying that it's going to be an almighty battle in Ballybuffet.
We'll talk about all of that a little bit later on again in the programme. Thanks for the moment, lads. Time for a break now here on League Sunday. But when we come back, we'll have action from the Division 2 decider between Westmeath and Derry. So we'll see you again shortly.